Hello, my darlings. Mama Lou here, and I am just now finishing up the series that I started yesterday. I was getting a lot of messages from the different elemental beings, so I decided to break them up into different sections for you. So it feels like the energy that I'm getting, the messages that I'm getting are coming in for like the next 2 to 4 weeks time. So take that for what it will. But these are messages that they really feels like they want to put on the forefront of your mind. You can either follow this just, if you work with the different elements or the elemental beings, or if you want to do it zodiacally. This is going to be for the south, which is the salamander, so the fire element. So this can cover Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius energy. So just letting you know that that's what we got going on here. So I'm going to pull some cards from the Mixtape Oracle first so we can get some songs going. And then I'm going to use tarot cards to kind of help define what these messages are, because they're kind of coming in a little fast. And so I want to make sure I'm getting the messages that are correct for you guys. Alrighty. So let's get these going. While we're getting songs together, if you guys would do all of the YouTube things, the likes, the subscribes, the shares, whatever it is that you do. I'm not really tech savvy. If you like my long form videos and you want to have little short ones, you can also check me out on Mama Lou Tarot on TikTok as well. But let's get some songs for you guys going. Okay, so like I said, this is going to be for the salamander. When I deal with the elementals, I deal with the salamander king, the fire king, whatever you guys like to call it, but that is the energy that I have. I did do a short series of these on TikTok, but I wasn't really able to get all the messages completely out as they were coming in. So that's what we got. Okay, so all my fire elements, or if you just want to figure out how to work with the element of fire over the next couple months, this is also Wands energy for tarot. So take it for what it is. I'm not a doctor, lawyer, life coach, anything like that. These are just the messages that I get. Take them and let them resonate with you how they may. So let's get started. The first song is Metallica T-Shirt by Wolfie's Just Fine. This song is rad. I will be putting all of these songs down below in the description box, but really the best way to use this reading is to, listen to headphones so you can kind of focus, meditate on it, and see how it speaks to you. So yeah, let the song speak to you. But for me, this song is great. Metallica T-Shirt by Wolfie's Just Fine. But mother won't let me. She says they are evil. Why can't we just be regular people? The main themes of this is the effect of religious or conservative upbringing, individual separate from the family, maybe a black sheep little situation, and wanting to fit in and be accepted, and a little bit of rebellion. Good fiery energy here. So let's see what we got coming out with this one. The first thing that I'm really getting here is that it feels like, well, and this happens normally, but it feels like our environment, the way we grew up, our surroundings, maybe our parental units, maybe our community, maybe our religion, maybe any of these things have kind of shaped us into the people we are today. Not kind of, very much shaped us into the people we are today. But it feels like it's time for you to kind of start figuring out, is this what I do because I'm afraid to do something different than the way I've been taught or raised, or it's not really something any of my friends do, or something like that. It feels like you may be dimming your light a little bit. That's kind of the message I'm getting from the Salamander King is, yeah, dimming your light. The Queen of Wands, when she's this way, oh, she is amazing. Like, she is just over the top amazing, sure of herself, confident, not afraid, just will go with her intuition and just her drive, and she makes things happen, and she doesn't care what people think of her. She doesn't care what the naysayers say. She's like, haters who, like, all of that kind of energy when you get the King of, or the Queen of Wands upright. Not gender specific, this is just the energy. If she's in reverse, like I said, you may be holding yourself back. You may be, like I said, dimming your light a little bit. You may be acting a little hesitant. Maybe you are trying to fit in, like the song says. Maybe you really are trying to not ruffle any feathers or cause an argument, or like it feels like even in reverse, like maybe you're not ready to have that difficult conversation with someone in authority to you, or like I said, or a parent or a grandparent or a teacher or something like that, because you're trying to see if we can just skip by this. And like if I can just kind of be mellow and maybe they just won't notice and I can just do my own thing later on when they're not looking, or maybe I can sneak this in. But it feels like it may be time. What I'm getting here is for you to accept yourself first, because even in the thing it says wanting to fit in and be accepted. If you accept who you are, then you don't need anybody else's approval for it. You don't need anybody else to tell you that it's the right move, or that, your idea is amazing. Like if you have an idea for a business or something, just go with it. Go with your gut, go with your intuition, go with your path, your dream, your vision for where you see yourself and where you want things to go and how you want to progress, and the kind of accomplishment that just kind of lights you up and makes you excited and makes you feel rejuvenated and just like, I don't know if you've ever had a moment where you're just like, I'm on top of the world right now. Like literally, that may be a song that you need to listen to too. On Top of the World by Imagine Dragons. That just popped in. Thank you for that. But so there may be here something about, it may be time to light that fire again. It may be time to, what is it? They always light a fire under your ass a little bit, get you going. You're an individual. You are unique. You are amazing in and of yourself. You don't need to make concessions for who and what you are to people because they're giving you the side eye or they're doing passive aggressive things to you or whatever. Don't let that put you in a small, it feels like it's making you feel small. It feels like it's making you snuff your own fire out is kind of the energy I'm getting. This is for the fire element, so thank you, King. But so it feels like that. Oh, we actually had a card that came out. Yeah. High Priestess. It's time for you to be you, whether you're in your house, whether you're out in the world, whether you're daydreaming, whether you're doing all these things. Great energy. So the High Priestess can walk between all worlds. She reminds me very much of like Hecate, where she can go to the underworld, she can go to, this realm, but she can also go to the higher realms as well. And she flows between them. There's no barriers for her. There's no limits for her. It feels very much, because you got this one in reverse, it's like the exact opposite. If you turn, this one. If you turn her over, they look awful similar, don't you think? I think they do. So this is you kind of getting your inner badass out. This is you kind of like being resourceful, like knowing your strengths, playing to those strengths, knowing that you are braver and more courageous and stronger than people are giving you credit for. It kind of feels like a stand up moment. Like you can't keep blending in. It's time for you to be you and use that knowledge, that wisdom, that tenacity to start getting what you want. And again, the High Priestess does not care what people think of her, because she has an inner knowing. She's following her intuition. She's following her spirit. She's following her higher consciousness, because she knows that she is on a more elevated path, and all of this stuff really doesn't matter. So it feels like just let that all flow away. Let all that flow away. Be you in that moment. Stand up for yourself. Stand up for what you believe in. Light that fire under yourself. Feel passionate about something again. And don't worry what other people think. It's a really cool message, actually. I like it. Yeah, because this is the other one that fell down. Because that's the only way to happiness. Also, I think it's great that there's a portal on both of these. If you want to be happy in this world, you got to embrace your higher self as well. And you gotta understand how to work with the energies around you and how to not let them affect your magic and what you are manifesting and what you are working towards. Because don't let anybody put you under their thumb. Don't let anybody control you. Don't let anybody, tell you that you can't pursue a certain dream or a certain goal or have, a certain outlook on life or opinion or any of these things. It feels very much like it's time to go and be yourself. If I knew how to cheer, I would. But it feels very much like that. So that's pretty cool. I like that. So that's the first song. The next song is June by Briston, Maroney. Ain't it funny how I wanted this all my life? Ain't it funny how I got in here and now it don't seem right? This is about cold feet or second thoughts. This is what do you do when you get what you thought you wanted? Your true desires versus expectation and reality and societal pressure of success. The first thing that came into my mind when I started reading those different things is, yeah, okay. So the first thing that I got is there may be something, fire energy is very passionate. It's very, but it also can be something that sparks really hot, burns really hot and fast, and then fizzles out really quickly. This message feels a little bit of a caution is don't burn out too quickly. Whether this is, a relationship or whether this is a project that you're just really gung ho about, or what if it's like an idea that you have and you just go full out on it and then you don't have enough steam to see it through. It's like when you're trying to manifest something and you're all into it for the first like 2 or 3 days and then you're like, it's not coming in, and then you give up and you move on to something else. It feels like you need to have a little bit more endurance, go the distance, and you will find out if it's worth it because you've slowed down so that it's not just so blast in your face, hot and fiery, so that you aren't blinded by the light a little bit. They're giving me a lot of musical references today, so I'm just going with it, but it feels a little bit like slow down a little bit. You can be passionate about things. You can be excited about things. You can be ambitious about what you have going on, but not to the detriment of others or to yourself, not to the detriment of your own path. Because let's say you throw yourself, like someone just offers you this position and you're just like, oh good, yes, I'll do it. And you just go with it. And maybe if you would have just waited, or if you would have had a thought, maybe you could have negotiated a higher pay, or maybe you could have, maybe in that amount of time, another offer came in that's even better. It just feels like slow down. Don't lose your passion. Don't lose your fervor or any of that stuff. But it feels like taking the time to slow down a little bit, turn the stove down to simmer, as it were, and not go at a rolling boil the whole time, to just kind of get in that groove. Do a slow temperature increase, if that makes sense. Because that's the energy that came in first. I literally saw like this thermometer and then the temperature was just going up really fast and I didn't know what that was about, but that's the message that came through. So that is the energy that I'm seeing here. So over the next 2 to 4 weeks, really kind of measure your energy, measure your enthusiasm, I'm not saying not have it. I'm not saying any of those things. It just feels like don't just go rushing headlong into something right away because it looks and it's shiny and it looks exactly like everything you wanted. Because the further you get into that, the harder it is to back out of it. And you don't want to... You don't want your light to go out completely because you're so freaking disappointed that now you're just in the depths of despair and disappointed that it didn't go your way. Yeah. Because you got the Ace of Swords. This is about being single-minded. Watch if you're just being too narrowly focused. Watch if you're just going like the Ace of Swords is like an opportunity and you just grab it and run with it and you don't even do the Two of Swords, the Three of Swords, where you start to think about it a little bit, you digest it a little bit before you do the action. The swords are all about the mind. So take a minute to think, plan, strategize. Make sure that your heart, head, and spirit are all in alignment, like it just feels very much like, and even she's holding a key. It feels like that's the key to a successful relationship or a successful job or a successful career or a successful, project at school or a successful, endeavor of whatever this is the key is the opportunity, but it's also, because it's the swords, it's the opportunity to think on it. It's the opportunity to stop for a second. I know that the fire element really gets us going and wants us to just be, ecstatic about everything, which is great. But don't forget the mind, the spirit, the consciousness, the higher self, all of those things before you just go headlong into something that may not be the right choice. But I'll tell you, the fire element will give you the gas the minute that it tells you to go. It's like, okay, go. So don't worry that you're going to miss an opportunity. Opportunities don't get missed if they're meant for you. Yeah. You got the Empress energy. This is setting the scene before just jumping into something. This may, in a relationship, this is getting to know someone before you just jump into it. It's allowing someone into your world a little bit before you find out if you mesh well together or not, or if it's the right thing for you. You kind of got to be in the other person's environment a little bit, meet their friends, hang out with them, see how they live, see what kind of a person they are, see what kind of worker they are, see if they're a kind person who's giving and nurturing, and also someone who's driven and creative. Like, it feels very much like, take the time in this, if this is a relationship, but plug in. Same with a job. Same with a living situation. Same with a school. Visit the school first. Check it out. Get a vibe. It feels like a vibe check. That's kind of what I'm getting. Get a vibe check before you go headlong into something. That's kind of the message I'm getting. So, really cool. I liked it, but we're going to move on to the next song because they're like, that's done. Okay, so thank you. All right, the last one. You guys ready? Don't Make Me Go by Off With Their Heads. If I have to go home and say I'm sorry for the things that I'm not sorry for. Interesting. The key themes is there is blood family and chosen family. You pick who is a part of yours. If there are conditions, then it's not love. Guilt, shame from family. Ooh, we got another message about being a black sheep. Interesting. This song's awesome, by the way. This band's cool. Check them out. Like I said, I'm going to be putting all these down below, but these are the things that we're getting tonight. So I will make sure that we get these in the description box for you guys so you can listen to them. Okay, as far as the Fire King's message regarding this song is, there's a little bit of, okay, all right. There's a little bit here of holding on to anger, and maybe holding on to anger too long to where it's just kindling everything. So maybe you're angry about something that's completely separate. When you already have that fire roaring about something, and then any other little thing happens, like maybe it's completely separate. Maybe this is at work. Maybe you got this burning anger at work, right? And then you come home, and just the simplest thing, like someone left a dirty dish out, and the tiniest little thing, which any other time, you just be like, oh, here, I'll move it for you. When those sorts of things start just making you instantly angry, instantly upset, like you go from 0 to 30 in like 2.2 or something, whatever this is, where you're just so quick to anger and then taking it out on another because of this, just, it feels like it's out of control anger. And if this is from the element of, fire, the Salamander King, if this is what's coming out, it just feels like, deal with this anger. Deal with this anger in a positive way. Take that energy. It's not saying snuff these things out. It says process it. Let it work for you. Direct it in a more positive way. Direct your anger into something more positive. Like even on the card, there's blood family and then there's the family you choose. If you're having a hard time, if you have anger with your family or your family members, go, you know, like put positive energy into good relationships, into relationships where people care for you, where they'll listen, where they understand what you're going through. You know, chosen family, your tribe, your spiritual, you know, tribe or whatever, the people that get you, who maybe they're black sheep too. Maybe they're, you know, maybe there's a group you can go to, anger management or something like that. But it feels like it feels like because it's not deserved, whatever this is, like this anger that you have for whatever reason, it feels like you don't want it. You didn't ask for it. You didn't, you know, wish this upon yourself because you just love being an angry person. It feels more like it has to do with you're so angry because it's so freaking unfair, or it's so freaking lopsided, or the world just feels topsy-turvy. Like, what is going on? And plug in whatever situation this feels like. But it feels like you're sorry, you're upset because they're like asking you to make it better, or like you need to say you're sorry when you haven't done anything wrong. So if you're in a situation like this, the message here is to just like, don't let it suck you in, but also don't let it fly out on someone undeserving. It feels like you need to process this. It's okay to be upset, but what are you going to do with it? Anger doesn't get you anywhere, but just more upset. So you need to learn how to use that as fuel for positivity in your life. Use it as fuel for moving forward, for learning a lesson, not to let yourself get in that situation again. It feels like learning to manage it in a little bit more healthy way, and doing it in a loving way for yourself. Don't be more mad because every time you get mad at something, it just exponentially gets worse and worse and worse. Yeah, you got the Wheel of Fortune. Sometimes it feels like luck is not on your side. Like things are going against you. Like, why is everybody so mad at me? Why is it my job to fix this? Why is everybody yelling at me? They don't understand what I'm going through, or I don't understand what I did that hurt these people. It feels very much like if you get in one of these downswing moments, the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, if you get in one of these downswing moments, use it. Because what happens in a wheel? You go on this downswing and guess what? The momentum brings it back up like a bicycle, you know? When you're doing this, it's always easier on the upswing. And so use it to push you in a more constructive direction. Use it. Don't let the wheel crush you. Don't let the world crush you. Don't let the world burn out, or, you know, let your fire out. Don't let that happen. It just feels like you need to, yeah, I'm getting a lot of this channel it into something. Even if you need to channel your anger into a painting, or channel it into writing a song, or channel it into a, you know, a writing exercise, journal about it, whatever this is, because you can't fix it. You can't make other people understand. You can't make other people stop being annoying or being or being mean or anything like that. Now you can put up healthy boundaries, and I think you should. Like even in this song, you know, he says, I don't want to go home again. And honestly, if you listen to that song, I wouldn't recommend. Sometimes it's not healthy to go back to these things. If you're getting this upset and this angry, maybe for your own health, safety, well-being, mental health, whatever it is, it's okay to be like, I can't be around that energy anymore. It just triggers me off, or it just gets me in this headspace that I just can't be in, and I don't want to do that to myself. So it may be okay, and it may be time as well for you to put up boundaries so that other people's drama and issues don't get you on their wheel, getting you in this negative headspace. It's kind of what it feels like. Yeah. It feels really, really doable. Like this is something that you can do, especially if this is just over the next couple weeks. This too shall pass. Like I said, this message feels like next 2 to 4 weeks or so. So I'm not saying that this is just the way your life is from now on. But if there is a situation that you need to distance yourself from, it feels like it's okay, so that they don't just totally, you know, light you up, or they don't just, or snuff you out. Whatever this is, the element of fire, just, it feels like channel it. Channel it. Put it into something positive, because F them. You're going to literally do the whole lemons, lemonade with, you know, vodka in it, and it's going to be lit, you know, like that kind of a thing. Whatever this energy is, that's kind of what I'm getting with it. So, that's what they want with it. Alrighty, so these are the messages here for the element of fire, for the Salamander King. So again, this can be for Aries, Leo, or Sag, any of those. That's all the messages they have. I am going to put all of these songs down below in the description box. I highly recommend you get some headphones on, because maybe this message doesn't resonate today, but maybe tomorrow something happens, you're like, oh, there it is. And you'll want these songs on a playlist or something so that you can listen to it. It's going to help this whole thing resonate. It's going to help you learn how to deal with this element of the fire, the passion, the inspiration inside you, what to do with that. And it feels really positive. So Mama Lou loves you very much. Do all the YouTubey things, the likey, subscribes, and I will talk to you later. All right, bye-bye.